Hello, everybody. This is Francesca from the Educator's Room. Today, we're going to talk about, we're starting a series online about how to make money blogging. And one of the things that we constantly get is that, teachers want to start blogs, but more importantly, we want to make extra money. We want to be able to monetize our sites. So, one of the things that I thought that I would start with is, um, just our site overall. Now, this is the Educator's Room, and to give you guys a little bit of background, I started this site in 2012 after having going through a reduction in force at my school. So essentially, I was very close to being laid off through nothing that I did myself, just some district policies. And I was frustrated, and I decided that, you know what, I really want to start a blog, and I really want to talk about all the things that are happening in education that the regular citizen has no clue about. So hence, I started the Educator's Room. Now, when I started the site, I had another website, but it was kind of like a blog, like a lifestyle blog. But I knew I could make money, but I didn't start the site to make money. I started it to kind of vent, and I wanted to just, kind of talk about some things. So I started the Educator's Room, and I really got the room because I'm sorry, not the room. I really got the idea of the name because I wanted to make sure that people understood this was a space for educators and that we want to empower educators as the experts. So fast forward to 2 years later, the Educator's Room, we have probably about our daily traffic, we probably get about 7,000 hits a day. And we do really well for ourselves. And I say we because I have a staff of about 24 writers that are all teachers who write for me on a part-time basis. So hence, let's talk about how to make money. Okay, when you go to the educatorsroom.com, this is the site. If you notice at the top, it says education blogging right there. So I get a lot of questions about people who want to start blogs and, more importantly, how to make money. So the first thing I always talk about is you have to set up your blog right in order to make money. So if you go to this article, it kind of tells you how to pick a domain name, hosting, WordPress or Blogger, designing your site, social media. I'm going to touch on this a little bit, and then I'm going to go into building content, which is really the point of this video today. Is the main thing that I like to tell people is that when you're starting a blog, you want to do everything right on the front end. So on the back end, you're not having to play catch up. Okay. And I'm going to particularly talk about WordPress or Blogger. For my other blog, I started with Blogger. And Blogger is super easy. It's supported by Gmail. It's one of those things that you can really do it in no time. But probably about a year into my blog, I started reading things online about that if you use Blogger, that you don't own all of your content. So I started reading and I read their policies, and it just scared me because at that point I was making money with my other blog, and I didn't want someone to be able to claim it. And when I say someone, I mean Google. So I decided to go to WordPress. Probably the best decision of my life. One of the best decisions of my blogging life. Let me say that. I really encourage everybody to start on WordPress. It goes a little bit more work on the front end, but on the back end, you own all of your stuff. You have ultimate control. I mean, you can just do a lot of different things. Okay, I'm off my high horse. But if you have a second, please go in and please look at 4 steps to start an education blog, and just talk about it. I give you some really good tools and some hosting sites that we use. Um, and before I go any further, I always get people that say, how much money does it cost to start a blog? Starting a blog is free. As you get a little bit more into it, more invested, you might want to you want your site to look a certain way. So, hence, um, I put some great links to some themes. These are great, clean themes for you to use. And then also social media. Okay, so now I'm really off my high horse. So today we're going to talk about how to build content. Now, I'm going to share a little secret with you guys. Every day, I probably get an email from somebody that wants to write from us, right? So that's excellent. People want to write for the site. That's excellent for me. However, that I find that a lot of these people that want to write for the site are not teachers. And quite honestly, I have a problem with that because I'm one of those people that strongly believes that teachers are the most informed people to speak about education. Other than teachers, parents from their own experience, but teachers more so because we're in there all the time. So one of the things, when I say there, I mean classroom. One of the things that I decided to do early on was that if someone wanted to write a guest blog on the site, they had to be a teacher. They either had to be a former teacher or a current teacher. And I did that because I just felt like integrity wise, it was important for me to stick to the mission. And the mission is to empower teachers. So we do not accept articles from anybody except from teachers, current or past. So with that in mind, you know, I started writing articles for the site. At first, it was only me. And then I was blessed enough that other teachers started reading my articles on social media, Twitter, Facebook, and they started to say, "Hey, can I write for you?" Um, Now, I will share a tidbit in that when I first started the blog, I went to all my teacher friends, I told them about it, but a lot of teachers were, they did not want to write about, they didn't want to write about their experiences because they were afraid of a backlash. So I'm saying that in that the people that you think will write for you probably will not write for you. And that's okay. Um, People have to be comfortable enough to write and be honest. So it's totally fine. So once I started getting people to write for the site, a lot of our conversation is about, well, what do I write? What should I write about? I don't know. I don't have anything to write about. I say baloney. We have, as teachers, we spend at least 180 days in a classroom. We have at least 180 things to talk about because every day in the classroom is a different thing. So, as I tell my teachers who write for me, think about what's happening in your classroom. Think about what you've experienced in past classrooms, what you see as some issues might be in future classrooms, and write about those things because that's what makes people reading your writing connect to you. We're going to look at for a second a really great article that was published on our site last week. It's called Rainbow It Up, the color coded essay. And one of our writers, Mindy, wrote this. And I really like this because she's a high school English teacher and she wrote about a color coded system to grading essays. And it's such a fun idea and it's so awesome. And when you read it, you actually feel like you're in class with her. And that's what you want your readers to do. You want your readers to read your content and be so connected to it that they're forced to comment, that they're forced to, just talk about it. So you want to have those conversations. Now, for all of my writers, I tell them all the time that, you know, people are going to read your article and then guess where they're going to click? They're going to click on your name. They want to see what you look like. They want to see who you are. They want to see, what do you teach? And this right here is Mindy. She's so pretty. And these are her articles right here. So, what I want you to do for you starting a blog, whether it's just you for now, or it's you and two other people, or it's you and someone else, is to really think about the content that you publish on your site and does it fit with the mission that you had for this, for your blog. One of the things that I tell the teachers to do also is if you look at our lines, you'll notice that we have tons of content. We probably have about 2,000 articles on the site overall. One of the things that we do is that we have to make sure that it's easy for people to get to. I'm going to give you an example. If I click right here, instruction, and I click on social studies, this is going to show me some articles about social studies that teachers can go to, teachers can read, and teachers can comment on. We have a really great writer. His name is Jake. And Jake is a social studies teacher. And this summer, he was the traveling teacher. And he traveled around the country to write about his travels and how they connect to him teaching social studies. So when you look at his article, he writes about his experiences. He's not spewing data. He's not talking about things he hasn't tried. He's actually in the mix doing what he does normally, and he decided to write about it. Now, one of the things that I always tell people to do is that when you write, be prepared for people to click on this box. Who is Jake Miller? What does he do? Oh, he teaches seventh grade U.S. history. Those are things that people want to know. So as you begin your writing, make sure that you have enough content for your writers. Right now, if you're just beginning or if you've been in 6 months to a year, you probably have a lot of articles. It's important for you to continue writing because you never know that moment when you're going to get 40,000 people on your site in one day and they're all looking for something different. But more importantly, it then becomes time for you to share your content. So once my authors write their articles, it's immediately shared to Facebook. Facebook is a great way to connect because there are a lot of teachers on the site. So you click on it. We constantly ask questions. This is one of our questions today that links back to an article about, do you have friends at school? Another one about the negative teacher. We just talk about all things education, and this helps people literally go through and kind of see you for as an advocate, and they see you as an expert. Another great thing to do is Pinterest. Pinterest is a great way to build your audience and to share different things. The color coded essay that we were just talking about is a great pin for this because it has lots of color, it has lots of things, and this is an excellent way. And if you look at our Pinterest page, you'll see we have special education, resources, classrooms we love, Common Core, new teachers, books by teachers for teachers, great articles for teaching, technology, reading, informational text. The list goes on. So we share on Facebook, we share on Twitter, we share on Pinterest, and we share on other social media networks such as Scoop It. But once you write the content, you have to share it. I tell my readers all the time, email your articles out. Email your articles out to people that you know. Talk about your articles. Share it on Facebook. Those are things that get people to read, and it gets you more exposure. Can't talk today. Um, as we continue this series, we're going to go even deeper. We're going to talk about how building content can help you build your own product. Because as an education blogger, yes, you can make money from traffic, but the majority of your money needs to come from your product because you control the price on your product and you control your product and you own your product. So, the next video on our series will probably be next week as we talk about how to make products and then also, how to market those products. This is Fran with the Educator's Room. If you have any questions, you can email us at info@theeducatorsroom.com or leave a comment after this video and we'd love to answer it. In general, any questions that you have about blogging, you can leave on here. Before I leave, I'm going to tell you that we are launching our affiliate program, which is essentially we have books that we've written. These are the 3 books. Keep the Fire Burning, Avoiding Teacher Burnout, Behind the Desk, How I Survived My First 10 Years in Education, How to Finish the Test When Your Pencil Breaks. And we have decided to create an affiliate program where teachers can agree to sell. If people buy books from their link, they get half the cost of the book. For example, if somebody buys my book, Behind the Desk right here, and they buy it from someone's link that they put on Facebook, when that sale goes through, they will then have half of the cost of the online book. So I'll see you next time. We'll talk about it. Thank you for visiting us and have a great evening. Toodles.